Why don't we go ahead and begin? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone, depending upon where you are in the world. My name is Eugene Terk, and I am the Vice President of Business Development at Align. I want to thank you all for joining us this morning for this introduction of the new Scaling Up Scoreboard. I want to express my gratitude and thanks first to Kristen Kopp and John Ratliff for this opportunity to present this webinar to all of you, the Scaling Up Network of Coaches. As some of you may know, Align has recently partnered with Verne to create the Scaling Up Scoreboard, the official software tool for the implementation of the Scaling Up and Rock Habits business methodologies. Verne will be formally introducing the scoreboard at the upcoming summit in Anaheim, but we are excited to give you all this sneak peek at the software platform. The Scaling Up Scoreboard offers your coaching clients all of the scaling up tools that they need to develop good business habits and to create a company culture focused on transparency, accountability, open communication, and continuous execution. The Scaling Up Scoreboard was developed to specifically complement the Rockefeller habits and scaling up methodologies. So you and your coaching clients will find the language and the features of the scoreboard completely familiar. For scaling up coaches specifically, and as part of the benefits included in your Scaling Up Coach Certification annual dues, you are entitled to a free coach account to use for your own strategic planning. In addition, we have a revenue sharing agreement with all Scaling Up coaches, whereby we give back to each coach 10% of the fees paid by your coaching clients who use the scoreboard for the life of the coached company account, even if your clients should terminate your coaching engagement, but continue to use the software nonetheless. Moreover, every coach and coached company account is assigned a dedicated Align advisor for complete onboarding, instruction, and training on the software. Perhaps more importantly, using the scoreboard gives you access and visibility into your coaching clients' strategic planning, performance, and execution, all in one uniform platform. This gives you the necessary insight into your clients' quarterly progress and helps prove the value of your coaching impact over time. In case any of you have had a chance to download our recent white paper, you are familiar with our data that shows that companies that use a Scaling Up coach in combination with a software implementation tool complete more priorities, huddle more, have more open communication, and generally implement scaling up faster and with greater success than companies that don't. Therefore, we strongly encourage you to use the scoreboard as an additional tool to help you in your coaching practice and with your coaching and with your scaling up clients. With this morning's demo, we wanted to do something a little different and to really focus on the 4 decisions of the scaling up methodology and show you how the scoreboard software allows you to do each electronically with your coaching clients. So before we begin, I do want to take you to the Managed Companies page of the new Scaling Up Scoreboard. As a Scaling Up coach, when you first log into the scoreboard, you will be taken to your Managed Companies page. From here, you are provided a quick snapshot view of each of the companies that you are working with on the scoreboard. Each company will have a tile that shows the current status based on color designations of red, yellow, and green of the company's critical numbers and how they are doing on company priorities and all priorities for the quarter. Each company tile will also show you the overall percentage of alignment between individual employee priorities to company priorities set for that quarter, as well as the progress of implementing the 10 habits of the alignment or rock habits checklist. From this Manage Companies page, every Scaling Up coach can create a personal coach sandbox account. A sandbox account is a fully populated account with data for a test company, which you can use to show prospective clients what their accounts may look like when they are on the scoreboard software. This sandbox account can be modified as you wish and will remain permanently on your Managed Companies page unless you choose to remove it. From this Managed Companies page, you can also create new coached companies. By doing so, you are automatically designated as the coach of that company, and the company will be added to your Managed Companies page. When creating a new company, a drawer will pop up whereby you can create the company and identify the person at the company who we should contact in order to schedule an introductory demo of the Scaling Up Scoreboard software. Alternatively, your coached companies can contact us directly to create their company account, and we can show them how to add you as a coach on their account at a later time. From this Managed Companies page, you can click on any company tile in order to access the company's full scoreboard account. In the upper right-hand corner, you will always see the company that you are currently reviewing. You can always toggle between various coached companies on your company that are part of your coaching network, or you can return to the Managed Companies page by simply clicking on the name above and clicking Manage Companies. So let's start out by looking at the first of the 4 decisions, which is people. As you all know, people section asks the key question whether you have the right people doing the right things right inside the organization. As Verne notes, this evaluation starts first with an executive's own personal relationships, goals, and priorities. Therefore, each and every user of the scoreboard has his or her own personal one-page plan, which is accessed here through their user profile. This is where your clients can document their personal goals and priorities, both short and long term. Furthermore, under the strategy navigation up top, you will find the functional accountability chart. This is the electronic version of the FACE tool that you are all familiar with, which clarifies the people who are accountable for scaling the business. And in addition, there is the PACE electronic tool as well, which lists the processes and people accountable that keep the business running smoothly. That is the people section. We then move on to the second decision of strategy, the strategic thinking part of the Scaling Up methodology. Again, if we return to the strategy navigation at top, you will find the OPSP, the one-page strategic plan. Now, first, you will notice that the OPSP in the scoreboard has been laid out for data entry purposes in a more linear fashion. However, you can generate a PDF of the strategic plan in the scoreboard that will print in the more familiar 2-page or double-sided Scaling Up Rock Habits OPSP format. Each plan, each one-page strategic plan is for a particular quarterly period whose dates can be modified as needed should you be working with clients they may be working on a time period other than a quarter. I didn't think that it was necessary to go over each section of the OPSP, as I'm sure you are all intimately familiar with it, but I do want to point out a few key things about the software. First and foremost, the default language of the OPSP in each section is obviously that of scaling up, but it can be customized and modified for your specific coaching style and each particular coaching client that you may be working with. In addition, you can add hyperlinks to any of the open text boxes in the OPSP in order to link to, for example, a Salesforce or a QuickBook report or another document or image that may live on a shared drive outside of this OPSP. The 1 year section of the scoreboard OPSP does by default include a SWOT analysis. This obviously can be very easily modified to a SWET if that is your preference with your particular clients. If we return to the quarterly section of the OPSP, this is a dynamic and living and breathing document that is visible to all users in the scoreboard account. Your coaching clients should update their quarterly targets to reflect the actuals that they have achieved versus projected that they set for themselves at the start of the quarter in order to create a historical strategic plan. It is easy, obviously, then to go back quarter over quarter, previous periods, to see how well the company did with regard to the targets that they set. Again, this is visible to all users, and it's all located in one central location. Continuing on the strategic decision, the Scaling Up Scoreboard also includes an electronic version of the 7 strata, as well as an electronic version of the vision summary, which is automatically populated. Obviously, this vision summary is a simplified version of the OPSP that gets automatically populated when your client fills out the actual OPSP as well. All right, moving on to execution, the third decision focused on execution planning. Under the strategy navigation as well, you will find the alignment or Rockefeller habits checklist. Here, you as a coach and your client can keep track of the various habits that your client is working to implement within their particular organization. As we noted, the percentage of completion of these habits is reflected on the tile for each company in the Managed Companies page. As Verne has written, the execution section is divided into 3 disciplines. The first discipline is priorities, which is accessed through the priorities page in the scoreboard software. From here, you can see all of the priorities that have been set for the company for the given time period. You can quickly see who has been held or who has been assigned accountability for each priority. You can see the name of the priority. It is clearly identified whether each priority is either an individual priority or one that has been assigned as a company priority. You can very quickly see whether or not the priority is being tracked based on a KPI basis, or whether it is being tracked based on the completion of specific tasks. A third way that priorities are tracked in Scoreboard is as a roll-up priority. This is simply meaning that the progress of this priority is determined by the completion percentage of its child priorities. And obviously, the priorities page shows you the percentage completion of the priority at this given time. Since we're only in the 3rd day of the quarter, obviously a lot of these priorities are currently at 0, with the exception of 1. Now, you can click on each priority in order to get more information. Here, you can enter a description, a more detailed description of exactly what the priority is meant to cover, along with what we call a priority heat map. This is something that shows you how the completion of the priority has been tracking over the course of the 14 weeks of the quarter. Arrows and numbers next to each priority indicate how many child priorities there are that cascade down from each parent priority. So in this case, we have a company priority that also has 4 individual child priorities that have been assigned to various team members. Each priority also can have various tasks that are assigned to it. Tasks in the scoreboard must be assigned to an individual and have a specific due date. You can quickly add a new task, create a task, assign it to a person, and newly to the scoreboard, you can also control the visibility of tasks and other objects within the software. So for instance, if you want to secure a task and make it visible only to specific users or specific teams, you may now do so. Creating a priority is very easy by simply clicking Add Priority. You identify the priority name, give it a parent priority if it should be a child of another priority, give it an owner. In addition, we now have tagging functionality, which I'll describe later, but you can tag individual priorities in order to filter them and see them as they may relate to individual projects or initiatives that the company may be taking on. Again, priorities can be either KPI driven, roll up or task driven. The second discipline under execution is critical numbers and KPIs. As we go back to our dashboard, the first page that every user of the scoreboard sees when they log in, they will see the critical numbers that have been set for the company for this particular quarter. These important metrics for the organization are displayed on both my dashboard, which is for the individual user, as well as the company dashboard, which is meant to indicate more company-based information like critical numbers and priorities. New functionality for the scoreboard is that now different teams, different departments, different offices, locations, etc., can have their own set of critical numbers. Critical numbers can be set either based on custom targets, where you determine what the color designation is for the amount reached or the total that is reached, or critical numbers may be set based on a time-based metric where the color of the value will be automatically set by the system based on the time that has elapsed within the period. I mentioned KPIs. Within the Scaling Up Scoreboard, it comes with various pre-populated KPIs for your coaching clients to use. However, the software does allow you to create any and all custom KPIs for any unique ways that your coaching clients may want to measure their achievement and success of a particular priority. If we return back to the company dashboard, again, we see the critical numbers, but we also see a heat map for the company priorities. Again, this is a very quick way for the senior executives and the C-suite to keep track of how well are the most important priorities that they have set for the company tracking over the course of the quarter. So once this starts to show red, immediate course correction can be taken in order to bring those priorities back in alignment and hopefully back on track towards completion. The final discipline is meeting rhythms or huddles. Through the scoreboard application, obviously we have both daily and huddle functionality. As a coach, you have access to all company huddles, and therefore you can quickly see what different huddle teams are talking about and the issues that are being raised on a daily or weekly basis. As you all know, huddles, particularly using a software tool, gives everyone a place to document their what's up, their good news, and to be reminded of priorities, top tasks, and stucks so that they remain in focus and top of mind. As you may know, the best practice is to document the information to be shared in a daily huddle in a shared platform. Two critical things that this facilitates. It makes meetings go more smoothly and efficiently, and it allows those who can't attend a huddle for whatever reason to read and to get caught up on what the rest of the team is working on or struggling with. It is important to note that the scoreboard includes a native mobile app now available for both Android and iOS devices from the Apple App Store or Google Play. This allows teams to document their huddle information on the web app and walk into the actual daily or weekly huddle with their mobile devices and exchange critical information with their teammates and coworkers, as well as the ability to update KPIs even if they are out of the office or in the field. The next decision is cash. I understand that as part of your Scaling Up dues, Scaling Up coaches also now have an annual subscription to Scaling Up Cash, powered by Cash Flow Story. Nonetheless, the Scaling Up Scoreboard also includes an electronic version of the Cash Acceleration Strategies tool, where your clients can list and document their specific strategies for increasing cash flow, as well as the Cash Power of One to document the calculations that they may receive or obtain from Scaling Up Cash and Cash Flow Story, so that they are visible to all admins and can quickly show the impact on cash when making changes to the 7 financial levers. So, as I said at the outset, the Scaling Up Scoreboard uniquely provides the complete suite of the 4 decision growth tools that are the foundation of the Scaling Up methodology. I would, however, like to point out a few more items that may be of interest specifically to coaches. All scoreboard accounts on which you are designated as the coach will display your coaching company logo, if you have one, next to the Scaling Up Scoreboard logo in the upper left-hand corner. So in effect, the scoreboard can be co-branded with your particular coaching company. Another valuable tool is the survey tools. These can be extremely beneficial to coaches so that they allow you to send a survey to everyone in your coach company scoreboard account to gain information either before or after a planning session. As a coach, you can essentially create a customized coaching scorecard for yourself to receive feedback and insight from your coaching clients on how well you are performing in the eyes of your clients. Similarly, this bell in the upper right-hand corner is our announcements functionality. Coaches can use announcements to send reminders to all that a quarterly planning session is coming up, or any other messaging like a congratulations on achieving a priority or hitting a milestone. Now, I mentioned our new teams and tags functionality. So the scoreboard includes this brand new functionality. Within a scoreboard account, a team consists of all members of a huddle group. For example, the members of the leadership huddle or a sales team huddle would be their own teams and have the ability to create team-specific one-page plans. This also would work well for remote locations or remote offices within an organization to be able to track quarterly targets, as well as team-based critical numbers. Same thing. This gives Scoreboard the flexibility to provide strategic planning and execution functionality to much larger organizations who may have multiple intercompany teams, departments, offices, and remote locations all in one platform. The tags functionality. Tags essentially are user-generated labels that you can create to allow a company to organize its goals and meetings around specific projects and themes. Essentially, tagging your strategic items can provide even more focus and clarity for your coaching clients. Both teams and tags are both brand new features that are included in the Scaling Up Scoreboard software. You and your clients can always contact customer and technical support at any time by simply clicking on the large Contact Us button in the bottom left-hand corner of the application. As a partner with Verne, Align is providing the complete back-end support for the Scaling Up Scoreboard and has a full team of advisors who can answer any software-related questions that you or your clients may have. Finally, I also want to mention that we are in the early stages of creating a Scaling Up Scoreboard introductory course. Please feel free to contact me directly by email or speak to us at Summit should you have any interest in undertaking a deeper dive into the features and the functionality of the scoreboard. No need to worry. Align will continue to provide all of the onboarding, introduction, training, and customer technical support for your coaching clients. However, for those interested, completing this course will give you the additional knowledge and confidence to answer any software-related questions that your clients may have during your time with them in a planning session, for example. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to join us this afternoon. If you have any questions or need more information, please don't hesitate to contact me directly or to come see us at the Scaling Up Scoreboard exhibitor booth at Summit. We look forward to working with you and your coaching clients on the Scaling Up Scoreboard in the very near future. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in Anaheim.